Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We've sort of got our internet problems sorted out. We're still waiting for a brand new router to arrive, which is what the problem was. In the meantime, I've been able to steal internet from other people, with their permission of course. So I'm having to drive backwards and forwards to Mum's to use their internet to upload videos at the moment. That's how I've managed to get this one up. I kind of snuck it in while we were going shopping. So while this is uploading, I'm doing shopping with Mum. So until our new router arrives, videos may be a little bit sketchy. I'll do my best, I really will, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm here. Our friends Karen and Steve came over for lunch on Saturday. And Karen brought a lot of her silicone moulds with her, and because she's got some that I don't have, like this particular fantastic, beautiful kind of Baroque looking frame. I'm hoping you can see the detail on that. It's absolutely delicious. And this fantastic kind of lion head letter opener, which is absolutely beautiful. So I've taken a few casts, and just to say thank you for lending me her moulds, I thought I'd make her a quick canvas, just a little one. This is kind of like postcard size, 4 inches by 6 inches canvas, but there's a little easel for it to sit on. And this was sent to me in Happy Mail by our friend Naomi West, who lives on the Isle of Wight, which is a very, very southern part of the UK. So I thought I would use that for Karen, because the little frame just fits on really nicely, just with a little bit at the top. So just to get started, I've got this Damask stencil. Now this is my design. It's one of the stencils that I designed a while ago, but couldn't afford to have it cut because it takes a long time to cut. It was quite expensive to produce, so I never ended up doing it. Things have slightly changed, where I may actually now be able to afford to have them cut, because we now have a different avenue, a different way of having our stencils done. It's just something that Ian and I are in discussion with a supplier at the moment. Can't really say too much, but with any luck it'll be easier in the next few months, particularly next year, to have my stencils produced a bit more cost effective for me, and no delay either. Usually when I order my stencils, there's a week or two delay before they arrive, so that will also solve that problem out as well. So anyway, right, so Damask stencil, structure paste. Isn't it lovely? Okay, so while that's drying, I'm going to go and wash these off, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the canvas pretty much dry, so dry enough for me to be able to work on top of. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put a quick coat of clear gesso over the top of that, just really to help any paint that I want to use, just to kind of bond and grip onto the canvas itself. Now normally these canvases, when you buy them, already have gesso on them. They're usually pre-gessoed, but just in case. So I'm just going to go quite lightly, because I don't want to disturb any of the structure paste that might be under there, that might not have fully dried, even though I've used the heat gun on it. Sometimes it's just the surface that dries quicker than the stuff underneath. So there we go. So just a quick coat of clear gesso just will help everything along. There we go. I'll just drop that straight back into some water, give that a blast, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so the gesso is pretty much dry now, so we've got some nice texture on that canvas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sticking the resin pieces directly onto the canvas now. I'm not going to pre-paint them because I'm going to add some paint later on. Now normally, and I've said this before when I've done canvases like this, I normally would use something like this super thick Slap It On from Indigo Blue, which is a heavy gel medium to hold these things in place. But because I'm doing this quickly, because I'm videoing it and I'm showing you guys how I'm doing it, I'm going to do it the easy way, if you like. I'm going to use a hot glue gun. So I've already warmed it up here. Mine's, I purchased this back when TVs were only in black and white. So it is kind of old. So I'm just going to drop some of that glue on. I've got to do it really, really quickly because obviously it's going to cool down fairly quick. Any strings that I get, I'm not too worried about because I can go back in and get rid of those later. And then just pop those down. That's it, just pop it down onto the canvas. Mr. Bentley's just coming to see me. Hello! Hello, little fella. Oh, you've had some nice tea, have you? You had some nice meat. Oh, he's a good lad, isn't he? There we go. Alright, so I'm sticking that frame down like that. That's it, it's stuck now. You see, if I'd used the heavy gel medium, I'd have to wait for that to kind of stick and hold before carrying on to the next step, and I would be here forever. So the next piece is I'm going to put this cog in the middle. So we're just going to add a couple of bits around the edge there. And he's got Teddy, he's now running around. And Mr. Ian has joined us in the background. He's clicking away. Do you want to say hello?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Or good morning, depending on where they are in the world.
True.
So let's put that somewhere up towards the top. And then we can drop in. Let's just push that a little bit, that's it, so we can get that other one underneath there like that. Now, of course, it doesn't matter what colour these are because we're going to be colouring them and painting over the top laters. So let's just drop that in there. That's kind of what I wanted to achieve, that one there. I did take a photograph of the canvas before I removed all the bits. So there we go. So we're now going to add this fabulous letter opener or dagger. I just want to just tidy up that blade a little bit. This is just a bog standard emery board that you can pick up from any, well actually I got mine from the supermarket, a pack of 10 for very little pennies, which is always useful when they're not expensive, but they're perfect just for trimming and filing your bits of resin. So I can now stick that down onto there. That should hold nicely in place. Look at that. Already starting to look good, even if I do say so myself. Do you want to say something?
No, sorry.
Got a tickly cough. Tickly cough. Alright, so we're going to place that at the bottom. Our little cherub. I've got this thing about cherubs at the moment, I don't know why. All the mixed media canvases that I've done recently have all had cherubs on them.
Cherubs and pooty.
Pooty, that's it. What else we're putting on? Oh yeah, we're going to put some wings coming out from behind the cherub like that to kind of reinforce. Put the glue stick in there, has it dropped out? I can't have used the full thing already. It's a bit greedy, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is just put that coming out of that. So I want to add some glue just about down there, and a little bit just underneath there, and then we can just drop that on. That should hold that exactly in the position that I want it. And it's kind of mirroring the wings of the cherub. And then we'll do the same thing at this side. So I want a little spot of glue just to go there, and a load of glue to go about there. Okay, let's tuck that under, drop that down, and hopefully just line those up. Hey, look at that. Anybody would think I planned it. There we go. Of course, like I said, the strings we can get rid of later. And I also had some like screw heads. Now, there's cogs in there, which you can't really see too much, but you can a little bit. And then I've got the screw heads. Now, our friend Karen, who I'm making this for, is a steampunk, just like myself and Ian. So we'll appreciate the cogs and the screw heads. She's also a bit of a goth girl as well, isn't she, a little bit?
Yes.
So she does like her skulls and that kind of thing. I'm not putting any skulls on this because...
Don't need it.
No, it doesn't. And it's more of a happy piece than anything else. Well, I think so anyway. So the screw heads are just going to be... just give it a little bit more of a teeny bit of an industrial feel. Because the colour scheme we're going to go for is going to be kind of teals, rusts, coppers, that kind of thing, which she will like for sure. Right, so I think that is pretty much all I'm going to put onto that canvas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the hot glue gun off, because knowing me, I'll burn myself if I'll just leave it going where it is. A little bit of a tidy up, and then I'll be right back. Just put some of these pots of gesso and the structure paste away, and then I can clear the decks ready for adding some colour, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So everything's kind of stuck now, nothing's going to fall off, just in case, I couldn't remember. So I've got some indigo blue white gesso. So I'm going to go around now and give everything a nice coat of the gesso. So that will make sure that the colour that I add over the top will adhere and stick a lot better. Now this is, as before, one of the most boring processes ever, because you are literally watching paint dry. So I'm going to go onto probably fast forward until we've got everything covered to my satisfaction. I may end up doing more than one coat, so it may be that I do jump to the end, and so you don't get to see every single coat that I put on, but we'll see. We'll see how long the process takes, because I might just go, no, I want to do another coat and another coat until I's happy. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I think I am happy with that white gesso now. So all I have to do is just get it to dry, and then I can start applying some colour. Okay, so gesso is pretty much dry. It's sort of mostly cooled down now, so I'm okay to start adding in some colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a dark kind of background. We're going to go with hot cocoa, which is an acrylic paint from Indigo Blue, our friends at Indigo Blue. So I'll take a little bit of that brown just on this brush, and I'm going to go in just into that background, into the darker areas down there, and then I'm going to come in with a spritzy bottle and just loosen that paint up a little bit. Now then, make sure I get the right one, because one of these is labelled up alcohol. There we go. As you can, that's rubbish. That's better. Just start loosening the paint up a bit and just start running it, tilting it backwards and forwards. And you can start to see all the detail coming out. Just there we go. So we don't want too much. We don't want not enough, if you know what I mean. I know what I mean. Just add some on that cherub as well, and in that lion's face there. There we go. Okay, just let it run. So go backwards, forwards, let it drip and let it run. And then I should have had a cloth. There we go. The ever-present kitchen towel. Should never be without it. And because this is acrylic paint, when it dries, it's going to be permanent. Unlike, say, if you did one with pigment powders. So, let's get it dried off. Of course, I forgot the important bits. Just do a little bit of brown colour over those screw heads as well. In fact, I'm just going to cover everything, to be honest. Why not? Okay, let's just give it another blast. Let it settle naturally. Just get a little bit under there. And a little bit under there. We steampunks like our grunge. Okay, so the hot cocoa is sort of almost dry. You can start to see now that detail being picked out where it's run into all those crevices, crooks and nannies as I like to call them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit more warmth. This is Burning Bonfire, which is a nice kind of orange, almost a burnt orange, but not quite. I'm just going to take a smaller brush, take a little bit of that orange paint, just loosen it up. There we go. And then just start to kind of add a little bit of that kind of rusty orange around the project, where the brown is still just a little bit wet. It will just blend in nicely. Just get down there into the where the big cog is. And then just before we kind of get it to dry, I just want to give it a quick not enough water left in this bottle. I should have filled it before I started.
Don't fill it for you.
No, I think I should have enough. Just taken from the other smaller Tim Holtz bottle, that doesn't really do much. Push the top down and it stays down, which is a bit useless, but less said about that the better. Right, there we go. So that's kind of warming that brown up just a tad. Okay, so that orange has now dried a bit, so that started to warm that up. It was time to add some blue. So I've just made up a quick little spritzer bottle out of the Townhouse Teal. I don't need a huge amount, so hopefully this bottle is still okay, because I did forget to clean the nozzle. Whoops. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and just start adding in just a little of that patina. There we go. Just like that. I'm going to let that sit. Just run that a little bit, and then we'll let that sit and dry. Maybe give it a little bit of help. Okay, so as you can see, the turquoise has mixed with the orange in certain places, like here, down there, and with the brown to create a kind of beautiful greeny kind of patina that just looks like it's been outside for years and years and years. But of course, we're not going to stop there, because we are going to add a little bit of bling. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got everything dry, because there are still a few little wet areas just up here. I want to make sure that everything is completely and utterly dry before carrying on. So I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, so I've pretty much got that as dry as I'm going to get it, for the time being anyway. Now normally I would go over the top with some copper paint. Rose gold, or I did have some copper. There we go. Some copper. Miss Moneypenny metallic paint. But for a change and for an experiment, recently when Ian and I and our friends Helen and Robert went to the Heritage Centre at Elsecar, which is not far away from here, which I'd never been to before. Ian had many years ago. We discovered a fantastic craft shop called, is it the Craft Box?
Yes,
it was. And in a very, very well stocked and very, lovely lady who ran it, yeah. Very, very well stocked store. and very, very reasonable prices as well. And it's, like I said, it's not that far away. I discovered these on the shelf. So these are luster waxes from Sizzix. Didn't know they did them. So I treated myself to gold, silver and copper. I know, beautiful, aren't they? So we're going to give these a go. So I've got this stencil brush, which is short bristled, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the wax and just load the bristles up, and then I'm going to very gently, all the paint's coming off this brush, look, I'm going to just gently sort of dry brush the top with the luster wax, which is fabulous. So this will catch all of the raised sections of the resin and just add that additional dimension that a project like this is craving and definitely deserves. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Considering I've never used this kind of stuff before, I've always used metallic paint, but this is very nice. Very nice indeed. I'm not applying very much pressure at all. I really want to get that lion's head there. Oh, look at that. That looks amazing. And of course our little cherub, the little pooty, gets a good going over.
Looky booty.
Says a voice from the back.
Voice from the cheap seat.
Yes. Because doing it this way, you're really not using much of the wax at all. As you can see, I'm just turning the canvas around. I know there are lots and lots of different brands now of this luster wax out there on the market. You throw something in a craft shop and you're bound to land on at least one or two. Everybody and his aunt seems to have luster waxes out, so you're really spoilt for choice. So I can't really say, you know, that one's better than the other, because this is the first time I've ever actually used any particular luster wax. But I'm just wondering to myself now why I waited so long. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's not just the fact that it's added a little bit of shine to it, it's added so much depth to everything. Total convert. There we go. So I think I'm going to stop, because, you know, at best, because you can just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going, and you're going to end up, you know, putting too much on, and just burying all the colour. So, and of course that's wax, so I'm just polishing that worktop there. I really need some alcohol to get rid of that. which I'll do later. So anyway, so there you go. That's the canvas that I'm going to give to my friend Karen. So I probably will also decorate the easel, but for the time being, there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me put this little easel or this little canvas together. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. So hopefully, once the internet problems have been sorted, we'll be back to a normal routine again in the next week or so. So I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. Say goodbye, Ian.
Bye!
I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.